The night I found out my wife was pregnant, I cried. Not out of sadness, but out of sheer joy. I remember holding her in my arms, her head pressed against my chest, her voice trembling as she said, "You're going to be a father." I thought it was the happiest day of my life. We had been trying for years, through doctor visits, late-night arguments, and months of quiet disappointment. When it finally happened, it felt like a miracle. My mother was just as thrilled. She'd always wanted a grandchild, and she adored my wife, Hannah. The two of them were close. Too close, maybe. They talked almost every day, shared secrets, even went shopping together without me. I used to think it was sweet that they got along so well. But now, when I look back, I realize it was the beginning of something I never saw coming. The first crack appeared at the hospital during the ultrasound. The technician smiled, told us everything looked good, then glanced at the screen and hesitated for half a second. I noticed it, even if Hannah didn't. "Everything okay?" Yes. She forced a smile. "Perfectly fine," she said, but something in her tone felt off, like she was choosing her words carefully. That night I mentioned it to my mother. "You're worrying too much," she said with a small laugh. "Pregnancy is stressful enough. Don't make it harder for her." Maybe she was right. I let it go. Months passed, and the pregnancy became the center of our lives. Hannah was radiant but distant. I'd wake up and find her sitting on the balcony, staring into the dark, lost in thought. When I asked what was wrong, she'd say, "Just hormones." I wanted to believe her. The day our son Noah was born, I thought my heart would burst. He was tiny, red-faced and crying, but perfect. I held him and thought, this is it. This is what happiness feels like. But even in that perfect moment, something felt strange. My mother wouldn't stop smiling. Not the proud, teary smile of a grandmother, but something else, something secretive. When she took Noah in her arms, she whispered, "You're safe now, little one." Safe from what? I brushed it off. My mom could be dramatic sometimes. For the first few months, everything seemed normal. I threw myself into fatherhood. Midnight feedings, diaper changes, lullabies. Hannah seemed exhausted all the time, and my mother was always around to help. She'd insist on watching Noah while Hannah rested. I was grateful at first. Then one night I came home early from work. My mother and Hannah were in the kitchen, whispering. The moment they saw me, they froze. "What's going on?" I asked. "Nothing," they said in unison. I tried to laugh it off, but the tension in the room was sharp enough to cut through. Later that night, I overheard them talking again. So softly I had to press my ear to the door. My mother's voice was low. "He can't know, Hannah. Not now. Not ever." Hannah sniffled. "I feel sick about it. He doesn't deserve this." My stomach dropped. "Do you want to ruin everything?" My mother snapped. "You'll destroy his life, and that baby's too. We've come too far for that." I stepped away from the door, my heart racing so hard I could barely breathe. That night I didn't sleep. My mind replayed every strange moment, every half-smile and hesitant word. I tried to tell myself I was imagining things, but deep down I knew. The next morning, I told Hannah I needed to take Noah to his next doctor's appointment alone. She hesitated but agreed. At the clinic, I asked for a paternity test. The nurse looked surprised but said it could be done discreetly. "Results will take about a week," she said. That week was the longest of my life. Every minute felt like waiting for a bomb to go off. When the results came in, I opened the envelope with shaking hands. Probability of paternity, 0%. The world went quiet. I sat there for a long time, staring at the paper, reading the same line over and over. 0%. When I got home, Hannah was in the living room holding Noah. My mother was there too, humming softly to him. I stood in the doorway, the paper in my hand. "Who's the father?" I asked. Hannah's head snapped up. My mother froze. "David," she started, but I cut her off. "Don't," I said, my voice shaking. "Don't lie to me again." Hannah burst into tears. My mother stepped forward, her tone suddenly cold and sharp. "You need to calm down," she said. "Calm down." I laughed bitterly. You both lied to me. You made me believe he was mine. Hannah sobbed. I didn't want this to happen. It was one mistake. I didn't even know for sure until the test. The test? Yes. You already had one. That's when my mother spoke. We handled it, she said simply. The first test showed he wasn't yours. I couldn't let you throw away your marriage, your family, over something that didn't matter. I stared at her, unable to process what I was hearing. You knew. You helped her fake it. She lifted her chin. I protected you. You've always been too soft, David. You needed this family. That baby needed a father. Something in me broke. You didn't protect me, I said quietly. You destroyed me. Hannah tried to reach for me, but I stepped back. Who is he? Asked again. She didn't answer. She just sobbed harder, her shoulders shaking. I turned to my mother. You knew everything. You watched me love a child that wasn't mine. You looked me in the eye and lied every single day. Her voice softened. You'll forgive us someday. You'll see it was for the best. Left. 4 hours, I drove with no destination, gripping the steering wheel until my hands hurt. Every mile felt like a memory burning away. Our wedding day, the first time Hannah said she loved me, the moment I held Noah for the first time. All of it gone. I didn't go home that night. I didn't go home for weeks. When I finally returned to pack my things, the house felt hollow. My mother was gone, staying with a friend. Hannah sat on the floor in the nursery, holding Noah, her face pale and tired. Please, she said. Don't hate him. He didn't ask for any of this. I looked at the baby. Sleeping, innocent, beautiful, and felt my heart twist. I didn't hate him. I hated what they had done. I don't hate him, I said quietly. But I can't live this lie anymore. I walked out, closing the door behind me. Now, months later, I still hear echoes of that night in my mind. My mother calls sometimes, leaves messages saying she did what she had to do, that someday I'll thank her. Hannah writes too, begging for another chance. But trust, once shattered, doesn't come back. I used to believe love could survive anything. Now I know some betrayals are too deep, too deliberate. And the cruelest part. It wasn't just my wife who broke me. It was the woman who taught me to love in the first place.